I'm taking off outside the rail yard at Curtis Bay. It's kind of like a heavy permeating smell of like lacquer thinner and paint and stuff like that. So I saw where CSX is reopening the Curtis Bay coal piers after the tragic Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in I think it was May 21st. So I thought I'd go up there and apparently what they're doing is they're shuttling the coal since ocean-going ships can't get in there. Now they can apparently, but when they couldn't, they were shuttling the coal up to Annapolis on barges and loading on ocean-going ships. So we're starting to look southwest and up in the top middle. That's the new Francis Scott Key Bridge. You can just see it right up there at the top. Now it's over to the left. And we're coming up on the coal piers, the CSX coal piers. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like they're still using barges. So probably it takes a while for the call to go out to the shipping companies for them to come with ocean-going vessels. So I would assume they're probably still taking the coal at this point up to Annapolis. And I recorded this. I think it was in probably around the end of July, like July 7th, July 27th. So yeah, it looks like they're still using barges. And it looks like they got a lot of empties, and it looks like they're pushing them back and connecting them up to cuts of empty coal cars and take out to back to have them filled. That's a long train. In the middle of the screen there. It was so what they're doing is they pull it up, and then they now see it's moving back now. What they do is they pull it up and they pull it out of the siding of the cars they just connected, and then they line the track for the next segment of cars. And then they back in again, which they're doing now, and connect them up. And they're taking all the empties back. So now we're going north. And just flew over where I'm standing. And you can see at the end, at the top, well, we're not going to look at that right now. We're just going to look at the train going back again. Yeah, I had two uncles that worked for the B&O, back of the B&O before it was CSX. And one worked in the freight yard assembling trains. And he said back in, this was the 50s, no calculators or anything. They used algebra, polynomials to figure out where to put the cars, so when the train, where they're going to drop them off at customers, and then also pick up cars too, where to put them in the train when they pick them up. And the other one was a contractual lawyer, and he worked till it just turned not CSX, just turned Chessie, and then he retired. And we have all kinds of glasses and glassware and plates. He was always giving us B&O and Chessie stuff. And that's what CSX, the C is Chessie, S is Seaboard. One of the freight lines, they, well, I don't know what the word you'd say, they absorbed. And X represents all the future train lines that they'll absorb into their company. There's a little repair shop right there. can see some locomotives and other cars. They probably use this for storage too. There's some center beam cars and some tankers and freight box cars. So it's a good representation of everything. So they must just use this yard also for storage. Kind of looks like HO trains, doesn't it? There's the repair facility right there, coming into the middle of the. I imagine it's probably just minor repairs. I don't think they do anything major like overhauls or anything like that. Probably just to the cars. It's only probably they probably do stuff like replace brakes and lines and like maintenance type stuff. I would assume. I don't know. I really don't know. Baltimore's an interesting place. Both my mom and dad came from Baltimore. My mom was originally from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. It was a little town outside there called what was it called? 88 or 44? 40 Fort. It was a fort there at one time, a long time ago, probably hundreds of years ago. It was called 40 Fort, and they were mining coal underneath the town, which they weren't supposed to do, and they'd blast at 12 in the afternoon and then 12 at midnight. Said the whole house would shake every time they blast. And they had all kinds of natural gas monitors and stuff in the houses, so there's ever a gas leak. I'm right. See that power station on the right? And then there's two billboards. The street curves around. There's two billboards. I'm standing right down by those trees in the shade. Very bright day. Here I come in for a landing. So that's it. Over and out.